All right, here we go. Salute to NBA Nation on this Friday evening. Another edition of the NBA Report, man. CP the franchise on the solo dolo. NBA Finals Game 4 is in the books. And while everybody in Beantown was getting ready to raise banner number 18, it was Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, and the Dallas Mavericks that said, hey, we're going to play with a little bit of pride. We're going to grow some nuts and make sure that we don't get embarrassed out here on our home court. So hold the brooms. We're taking this thing back to Beantown because the Dallas Mavericks smoked the Boston Celtics 122-84 and has people saying Mavs in 7. Let's talk about it, man. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Call me up, man, 657-383-1509. Or you can hit me up on the NBA Report Discord. CP the franchise in the building, man. Let's talk about it. Salute, 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 man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Everybody watching on Twitter. Whoa. Mavs found some nuts here, man. Yeah, 29 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists for Luka. Kyrie, 21, 6, and 4. And you had to expect that, listen, it was Game 3 was do or die, but Game 4, that's it. So it's either you're going to come up with a respectable effort or you're going to go out with your tail tucked between your legs. So shout out to the Mavs because they brought it on both ends. Great job by them. And it started with Luka Doncic setting a tone for his team. He was a guy who was called out, criticized, crucified, if you will, by the national media, by the fans. He was dogging it, complaining to the referees. He fouled out, picked up 4 and 5 fouls in the fourth quarter of Game 3. So Luka Doncic took a lot of heat, but give credit to him because he really set a tone for his team, and it started with the defensive end. You know Luka's offensively, he can get you triple-double in his sleep, and he had 25 points in the first half. That was no problem. But it was really on the defensive end where I thought he really shined, and you got to give him a lot of credit there. If you're gonna dog him out for not coming through for his team in this entire series, and rightfully so, you got to give him the credit there for playing defense because, he kept his guys in front of him. We talked about the stat on the last show where his playoff percentage in terms of blow-bys was at 67%, the largest percentage in the playoffs. You can't have that. That's an abomination. So he played much better defense, kept his guys in front of him, which then allowed the Mavericks to, yes, help where they needed to help, but also stay at home on the Celtics' three-point shooters and not be forced in these chaotic rotations where Boston would just end up with wide-open shots. And it's not all Luka's. It's not all on Luka. Not to say that, but when you're the star player, you got to be better than average defensively. You got to be better than average defensively. So if we're going to dog him for Game 3's effort, rather, you got to give him a lot of credit for Game 4 because I thought his defense was great tonight. Whether it was Tatum, sometimes he had Drew Holiday, sometimes he had Jaylen Brown. He was good tonight. And then offensively, hey, they looked at Al Horford as a sitting duck. Mavs want to get their mismatches and go to work. And that's what he was able to do. Just picking apart his mismatches. Xavier Tillman, he got some clapbacks on Xavier Tillman. Got to the rim and just picked them apart. What I liked about the Mavs again in this game was, you have another game where they're just getting whatever they want in the terms of points in the paint. Starting with Luka Doncic, Kyrie getting in there. You had Derek Lively, all these Gafford. Mavericks was just having their way with the Celtics in the paint. So that was another great job by them. Is that the Kristaps factor here for the Celtics, where it's primarily Al Horford there on the back line protecting the rim, and the Mavs are just doing what they do? Is this Porzingis injury a little bit more serious here for Boston than we're leading on? Now, obviously, I expect Boston to go back home and take care of business. But for the Mavs, hey, did they find a little bit of a chink in the armor here in terms of the Celtics frontline defense? In Game 3, they won the points in the paint battle like 52-24. And here in game 4, 60-26. 60-26. And a lot of that, I mean, they had like 24 of those damn near in the first half. Now, a lot of that is it's desperation time. Al Horford talked about it on the telecast in his sideline interview. He felt like the Mavericks were playing like the more desperate team. Doris Burke talked about it during the telecast. Is that the human nature element of it? The closeout game is hard. You got to be crisp. You got to execute. You have to rebound. Who won the rebounding battle tonight? The Dallas Mavericks, 52-31. So altogether, it was just a sloppy game for Boston. And Dallas, the hungrier team, out-executed them and did a great job. To a man. Led by Doncic. Kyrie chipped in with his points, 21. And then I thought it was a supporting cast. Those were the guys that you were looking for in game 3 to really make an impact, and they didn't. And tonight, it was Dante Exum. Shout out to Dante Exum. He scored 10 points on 4-7 shooting. 2 of 4 from downtown. That's what you needed there. And how about Derek Lively? The Rook, playing like a grown man out there. Double-double, 11 points, 12 rebounds. Shot a 3 and made it. And I thought Lively did a great job of filling the lane, running the lane. And really just making his presence felt on both ends. Obviously on the boards, but just giving them that big man presence that allowed them or helped them get to this point. Their big man between Gafford and Lively were big stories for the Mavs in this playoff run. So you had Lively with the double-double, Gafford with his 7 and 4, P.J. Washington, he chipped in with 6. I mean, listen, this game was out of hand by halftime. By halftime, it was 61-35. Third quarter wasn't any better. Mavs won every quarter of this thing. So before you knew it, by the third quarter, 2-3 minutes left in the third quarter, Mazzulla's throwing in the towel. Bench players are coming in for the Celtics. Bench players coming in for the Mavs. We're talking to Dirk Nowitzki on the sidelines. We're talking to everybody. It's over with. Mike Breen on the telecast talking about what we're going to talk about next. So the game was a wrap. Like I said, I expect Boston to go back home, snap out of the funk, and get back to business. But for the Mavs, at least, hey, they make this thing a little bit respectable. Because, in game 3, people were talking about, man, this is one of the worst finals ever. They're stacking this up next to the Spurs beating LeBron and the Cavs is one of the worst. So good job by the Mavs coming out and handling business. And again, really started with Luka Doncic on the defensive end. And after all the criticism, all the shots that he took, that was a good job by him. Manning up and silencing the critics, at least for one game. Here was Luka Doncic after the game on his play with Lisa Salters, courtesy of ABC ESPN. Here's Luka. Oh, hang on. His hair is not Luka because I got this thing on mute. I'm looking like the Celtics right now. Hang tight. Hang on. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for your boy. CP the franchise here. All right, here is Luka. Here he is.
Luka, it was total domination tonight from the opening tip. Just how did you guys make it look so easy?
Yeah, we know we had to get. We can't lose no more. Like as we always say, we're going to believe till the end.
What was different tonight about the defense and the mindset?
I think our energy was way higher. Everybody was locked in on the defensive end, and then we played with higher pace.
Luka, you heard a lot of criticism, fair or unfair, after Game 3. Just what was it like hearing all of that?
I'm good. I don't pay much attention. There's always going to be criticism no matter what. I just stay focused and help my team win.
Now, it's just one win, but it feels like it could have been a statement win. How do you take this game and the momentum that you got here tonight? How do you take that to Boston for Game 5?
We got to play the same way. We know how tough it is to play there. I know their fans, they're going to be loud, so we got to stay focused. We got to do the same things we did today.
All right, thank you, Luka. Congrats on the win.
All right, that was Luka Doncic. Says he doesn't hear the criticism. I think that's cap. How could you not hear it? Everybody to a man was dogging him. But, hey, good effort by him. But it just goes to show you, with a lot of the criticism, and I played those sound bites yesterday from guys like Brian Windhorst and Cowherd, and they're talking about it's impacting his legacy and all that. Like, you got to knock it off with the microwave takes. Knock it off. No, he's not the greatest defensive player, but hey, if you play with some pride, you can see some good things here. Doesn't mean he's going to get these guys back into the series, probably not, but hey, one game at a time. He did what he needed to do, and he got his team the victory. So, great job by him. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Salute to Gambit the Bard. Ghost, I see you in the chat. J Rose 712. Shout out to J Rose K. I see you, man. Got you open. Michael Powell. Patrice 2020. Salute. Sherwin, how you feeling? How you feeling, Sherwin? He says Pat Bev calling him a genius. Calling who a genius? Luka Doncic? Y'all listen to Pat Bev podcast? God bless you. God bless you, man. So it was an early night. Luka did his thing. He had great contributions from the Mavs role players, and there it is. Now you got people hyping Mavs in 7. The memes are going crazy, and that's been pretty hilarious. That's been pretty hilarious. So 122 to 89 to 84 rather, and they're gonna head back to Boston for Game 5. And for Boston. Like I said, man, the elimination game is always the toughest. I didn't expect them to come out here as, as the aggressor. I did expect them to kind of claw back into the game after the Mavs made their run. I expected the Mavs to make that furious run, but I thought Boston was going to be able to settle things down as they did in Game 3. But give credit, Mavs just kept their foot on their necks and never relented. So for Boston, look, this is stinking, man. You have one of those every once in a while. You go home, you regroup, and you get ready to take care of business on your home court. And maybe that's what they want. Boston owners get another chance to sell some tickets. Boston fans can fill their building, go outside, whatever, throw the green stuff in the water, whatever it is, whatever you guys do in Boston to get it popping. So they'll be all right. I'm not too concerned. The one thing, though, I am a little concerned about is their paint protection. What's happening? What is happening to the Boston Celtics in terms of protecting the paint? This is 2 nights in a row now where they're getting smoked. Could be interesting, but Boston's one of those teams, especially offensively. You can't keep a team like this down. So it's just one of those nights, man. It's an outlier night, I believe, and I think the Boston Celtics will come back stronger and take care of business. That's for sure. And then for the Mavs, like I said, man, give credit to their role players, and you got to start with Derek Lively, because I really like how he played this game. This is a rookie, man. Derek Lively is a rookie, and he comes in with a double-double, gives him good energy. He came into the game like 2 minutes into the game. Jason Kidd makes the move. And so I thought that was an interesting adjustment by him. But he comes in, he gets Lively in there, and he delivers, man. Double-double, 80% from the field, and his first career three-pointer. And what does it say here from NBA.com? Joins Magic Johnson as the only player is 20 or younger to record multiple double-doubles in the NBA Finals. Multiple double-doubles in the NBA Finals here for Derek Lively. And in this day and age of stats, how we like to microwave everything up. Hey, take it for what it's worth, man. 20 or younger, multiple double-doubles in NBA Finals history. So if you guys value those things, have at it. But overall, I thought he was solid for the Mavs from beginning to end. And then, like I said, you had Dante Exum chipping in. Dante Exum, 4-7 from the field and shot the ball well. The Mavs has needed their supporting cast to help. Who's coming along for the ride but Luka and Kyrie? Well, it was Dante Exum, plus 15 on the night. 10 points, 4-7 from the field, and then Lively plus 20 on the night. So, great job by them delivering for their team. And Exum's a great story, man. I love these stories where you have these guys overcome a lot of adversity and make it back to a big stage. Dante Exum, once upon a time, was a premier lottery pick who came into the league with high expectations. Was drafted by the Utah Jazz, missed his entire sophomore year with a knee injury. Never really panned out to be the prospect that everybody expected him to be. Goes to Europe, then comes back to the league, and here he is making a name for himself with the Dallas Mavericks. And I thought one of the keys here for the Mavs, on top of their supporting cast, I just like the way that the pace that they played with. Play fast. You're playing a Boston Celtics team that is a juggernaut on both ends of the floor. They make it tough for you defensively in the half court. On the offensive end, they're bombing away from three. It's a tough team to beat. And so for the Mavs, yes, you have to. Yes, Kyrie and Luka are going to do their thing, and most likely they're going to get their points hella high water. But you got to find other ways to score. You have to find ways to get a numbers mismatch or to push the ball ahead and get something going in transition. I always believe that, especially when you play a tough physical team in the half court. You got to find ways to create advantages. Luka and Kyrie in isolation can create advantages, but that's not the only thing. You got to be able to get fast transition buckets and to be able to force the issue. That's a must. Mavs got to the free throw line 22 times. I thought that was encouraging for them. Only shot 68% from the field. Got to tidy that up. But that's traditionally who they've been in the playoffs, a bad free throw shooting team. Don't let that bite you in the ass in Game 5 if you get down to a close game against the Celtics in their building. Take care of business. You got to make your free throws. As a Knicks fan, I know very well the Knicks were terrible at that, especially in the playoffs. Got to make your free throws. Salute to Coach Rubens in the chat. Bomani UFG, I see you in there. K-Dot says if the Mavs keep the same intensity, it's possible. Anything's possible, but I mean, hey, they're up against it, against a great team. And for the Celtics, look, you're going to have off nights like this. I don't think there's a Celtics fan out there that's worried one bit. Oroku Saki, 40-point ass whooping for sure. Speed it up. That's why I like how the Mavs play tonight, man. Speed it up. And for the C's, yeah, not much. Not much going offensively, man. You had Tatum 4 for 10, 15 points. It was a struggle for him. Horford gave him nothing. Drew Holiday 4 for 10, 10 points. Jaylen Brown 3 for 12, 10 points. So there you go. No Porzingis, but that was it, man. Your big three really didn't have much. Derek White chipped in with 6, 2 for 8. So Boston, uncharacteristically, they shoot 34% from downtown, 36% from the field. They shot 29 of 80 from the field. Mavs, conversely, 50% from the field, 40% from three. So, I mean, look at the box score, you know. This is not your typical Celtics fare. It was just one of those nights, man. But good for the Mavs for making this thing a little bit more respectable. If you're watching these NBA Finals, you want to be a little bit entertained. I mean, you know, let's go here. Let's go. And did Jason Kidd predict this? Was this in the Jason Kidd script? This is Jason Kidd mic'd up in his pregame speech. And it looks like, you know, Jason Kidd told these guys, hey, man, we're going back to Beantown. Here he goes.
And why not us, right? We go to Boston tomorrow, right? I hope you guys are all packed.
Jason Kidd, Joe Mazzulla sending the same.
And why not us, right? We go to Boston tomorrow, right? I hope you guys are all packed.
All right, so I don't know if Jason Kidd's just Nostradamus or, you know, throwing a last Hail Mary there for his team. So we going to Boston. Hope you got your bags packed. Hey, they did what they needed to do. They're going back to Boston. So good job by them, but especially on the defensive end, I thought they were great. I definitely thought they were great on the defensive end. So, well-deserved. Well-deserved for the Mavs. And here is Luka at the podium. I guess he's there asking him, are they still alive? Here's Luka. Here you go.
How does that outlook change now in the series that you have a win under your belt and you have a few more days of life headed to Boston?
I mean, it doesn't change anything. Like I said at the beginning of the series, it's first to four, and we're going to believe till the end. So we just got to keep going. I have big belief in this team that we can do it. So we just got to keep believing.
All right, don't stop believing, all right? That journey. So, one game at a time. They're up against it for sure. But anything is possible. Here's Luka here with Sergio Ramos, sharing a little embrace. And there that is, man. So to everybody in the chat, who else we got in here? K-Dot says Kyrie's first win against his former team, though. How about that? Yeah, I mean, I guess if you take stock in that, what was the record? Like, Kyrie was like 0 for 12. Let's take a look at it on StatMuse. Record against... What's Kyrie Irving's record against the Celtics? Yeah. His first, you guys said his first one against Boston. What's his overall record? Yeah, I think he picked up his first one. I mean, look, if you guys take stock in that, sure. I don't think that really means much. You know, I'm sure he'd much rather just celebrate this win and the fact that his team has survived and hasn't gotten embarrassed in the NBA Finals. So, you know, some of those stats can, in a team sport, can kind of just be just for show. Here's some more stats for you. Luka Doncic, the third youngest player to score 25-plus points in the first half of an NBA Finals game. Only NBA players to do at a younger age were Kyrie Irving, 2017, and Hakeem Olajuwon at 1986. Oh boy, they really be boiling these stats down to make it mean something. Take it for what it's worth. All right, what else we got here? Hey, but one thing though with Kyrie, when he left Boston after Game 2, he did motion to the fans, "I'll see you in Game 5." So Kyrie Stradamus headed back to Beantown. What if he had like a 40-point night, man, and put some fear in the Celtics and sent them back to Boston, back to Dallas? That would be interesting. Now that would be interesting. Two Lifter says Mavs might still be able to come back. They did versus Timberwolves down 3-0. They did versus Timberwolves down 3-0. Anything's possible, man. So you got to start with one game at a time. And they got to maintain that defensive momentum. That was the thing that killed them in the first 3 games. The defense wasn't good. The defense is terrible. And when your star players get exposed like that, what are you going to do? So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up on Free Boy. CP the Franchise here. Post-game live, 122-84. The Mavs come back and force a Game 5 and make it a respectable one, man. Does it change the narrative of the series? Nah, not at all. I don't think it changes the narrative at all. I think Boston comes back and wins Game 5. And that's that, man. What else? There was a couple other interesting things going on during the pregame show that I wanted to talk about. Oh, here's Joe Mazzulla. Here's Joe Mazzulla post-game on the Mavs win here. Here's what Joe Mazzulla had to say, man. Here he is.
About your group, and what do you think you've learned in terms of closing out the Mavericks the next
Yeah, listen, I learned that Dallas was a great team, and you're going to have to earn it. And, there's a lot of stuff that we can control. We'll go back on the film and we'll watch that, and we'll really try to be disciplined and control.
All right. Thank you, Coach. That's Joe Mazzulla, man. Never short on words in the post-game show. Okay, here it is. This was the pregame show. They brought Joel Embiid, and ESPN's been all over the place with the pregame show. Some people want them to elevate it. You heard, hey, they got to bring LeBron in here. It is kind of interesting. Like, how come they don't? What is LeBron doing? LeBron's at home. He's chilling. They don't bring LeBron to the NBA Finals. I think that's a little bit interesting. Or someone of higher status, a real NBA champion. They don't really do that. I mean, no disrespect to Perk. Perk is a champion, and I do rock with Big Perk. But it is ESPN. It is the NBA Finals, and it's interesting that they haven't brought like anybody of like true substance. Like, where's Magic? What's Magic doing? Magic is usually up there. But anyway, they brought in Joel Embiid and Paul George, and it was interesting to see those two guys together. And they were asking Joel Embiid. Here was a segment here because it was kind of cringe, but I still want to react to it. And here it is.
This could be the beginning of a dynasty of winning multiple championships for the Boston Celtics.
Hang on. Let me get this volume up. Let me get this volume up a little bit higher so you can hear the ridiculousness of this exchange. All right, let's start this over. Here we go.
This could be the beginning of a dynasty of winning multiple championships for the Boston Celtics.
I don't think so. Not with the new CBA. And then you also got to understand the whole East was kind of hurt this year, myself included.
So you're saying you're coming next year?
I mean, there's a pretty good chance.
Will Boston?
All right. So first things first. The dynasty talk, knock it off. This is what I'm talking about with the microwave overreactions. They haven't even won the championship yet. Yes, they're going to win the championship, but now we're putting them into dynasty mode. Knock it off with the ridiculous takes. Malika, come on now. Like, let's dial it back a little bit. Let's let them celebrate the first one first and then see what happens next year. Every year is different. Dynasties, especially, and Joel Embiid is right, especially with this new CBA and the way the league is moving and players are moving and teams' inabilities to keep players, dynasties are going to be much harder. The last one was Golden State. So let's knock it off with the dynasty talk. These people just sound more and more ridiculous by the day. Now, Joel Embiid says the entire East was hurt, myself included. And he's sitting next to Paul George. Let the tampering begin. But does he have a point? I think he does have a point. Philadelphia's sitting there with a lot of cap space. They're going to invest in Maxey. Does Embiid come back healthy? He's usually never is. He rarely is. The NBA season's a long season. He's a guy another guy you can pencil in for an injury during the course of a season. And the way he plays, his build, he's an injury-prone player. But they go out there and get a Paul George. Does that tip the scales a little bit in Philly's favor? Does that make them a bit more competitive? I still think Paul George is going to end up with the Clippers. Report came out here from Windhorst that he and the Clippers are not on the same page in terms of the contract extension. Take it for what it's worth. But I want to see what Philadelphia does, what Daryl Morey does to upgrade that team. They need another guy, and they need some more depth and some more firepower. Like I didn't think they had enough around Maxey and Embiid. They need some more there. If it's Paul George, I think they can make it interesting. Obviously, my Knicks will be there. Interesting to see what Julius Randle does, see if the Knicks can stay healthy. Milwaukee, I would not necessarily count them out. I think that would be wrong to do with Giannis and Dame and Middleton and those guys, so don't count them out. And that's my top 3-4. Everybody else, I'm not too worried. I'm not worried about the Pacers. I think the Magic, yes, after some upgrades in this season, I think they will be better. But I don't expect much from them. If Cleveland keeps that same team intact, I think it will be a grave mistake. They are what they are. A soft finesse team. I don't see much from them. If they keep Mitchell and Garland together, I think that's a bad move. With Mobley, do they trade Jared Allen? Cleveland's got some work to do. They've got to make some moves. JJ in the chat, don't forget the Wizards. So, yeah, I mean, look, the East, it's still Boston's to lose even next year. Well, Boston's going to have some answers, some questions to answer for their own. Is Porzingis going to be there for them? Can they afford to keep Derek White with the squad? He wants to be there. Brad Stevens wants to keep him. It's going to be hard to do. So, weird segment. It's the NBA Finals. For some reason, they can't find one guy with a ring up there to celebrate. No Magic, no, Jordan. Jordan's not doing that. This is way beneath Jordan. No LeBron. No Steph. Where's the chef? Where's the chef at? I mean, no disrespect to PG and Joel Embiid, but bring somebody with a little bit more clout. I don't know. Who's booking these people? Shout out to Big Perk, though. That's my guy. Shout out to Big Perk. So, But either way, man, 122-84. Mavs knock off the Celtics. What's everybody's predictions for Game 5? I'm going Celtics. I think Celtics clap back and win. I'm not really concerned about this from their standpoint. And I think they will take this thing, man. I think they'll take it. But either way, man, not much else to get into on this game. Really not much to comment on. Luka did his thing, fought back against the criticism, and played an excellent two-way game in literally just one half of basketball. He had 25 points in the first half. Finished with 29. That's all he needed to do. Play great defense and push the pace. Yes, he got into his bag, but pushed the pace, man, and got the Mavs some easier buckets to get them going. Especially with the fact that the Mavs play this ISO game, we're going to hunt the mismatches, and then Game 3, it was just too difficult to get offense for them. And so I like the fact that that was a big adjustment that they made in terms of just playing faster. You have a team that's a stout defensive team. They've got beasts in the backcourt and Holiday and White. You play faster. You got to play faster. So I like that. That's one thing I like. That's one adjustment that I like there from Jason Kidd. And then I thought Luka's defense. And look how that energized their entire team, their supporting cast. That's what leaders need to do. That's what superstars need to do. You got to lead on both ends, or at least make it respectable. You can't be a traffic cone and then put everybody else at a disadvantage and expect that type of effort consistently for everybody to hold it down. You just can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Hang on. We're in the NBA Report Discord, and I got my guy Stilico in the building. Stilico, is that you?
It is me, 1212 Chief.
Let's go, man. Welcome to the NBA Report, man. Stilico checking in from Kentucky, man.
As always. CP, I just gotta ask you this. Mm-hmm. What do you think it's gonna take to get this to a Game 6 or even a Game 7? Because so far, this series, even tonight, has been a snore fest.
Yeah.
It's been a very bad showing, family show, so I'm not going to say what it's actually been. But, what's it going to take to make this a series that we're actually going to be talking about?
Yeah.
here for the next few years because it's been blowouts and Celtics wins.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think what the Mavs need to do to get things going. That's really all I got to ask for you, CP. Wonderful show on the NBA Report. I hope you're having a great day.
Appreciate it, man. What it's going to take to me, especially if you're going to go on the road in Boston, I think you're going to need like a 30, 40-point Luka Doncic masterclass, all-time classic performance. On top of Kyrie. Remember, the first 2 games, Kyrie was a no-show. So you're going to need Kyrie to be there, but you're going to need a Luka Doncic. One of those nights where you just like, this was Jordan, this was LeBron, this was a Steph Curry game 4 against Boston. You're going to need one of those nights where he's just out of his mind, destroying everybody, because you can't rely on an off night like this from the Celtics at home. You can't rely on that. Tonight was an outlier for them. 36% from the field, 34 from 3. That's not Boston. You got them on an off night. They're going to be hungry. The crowd is going to be savage. They want to raise that banner at home. It's going to need to be Luka from beginning to end. He's going to have to shut the door on them. Maintain that defense. I like the way they play that defense. But on the offensive end, it's going to have to be a masterclass for them to make this thing respectable. We haven't seen it yet. One of those were like, one of those signature games, those statement games, a classic. Haven't seen it yet from them, but they're going to need that from them to even have just a monicum of a chance. I appreciate the call, man. My guy Stilico checking in on the NBA Report Discord. KG7 full in the chat says, CP white wine, what the hell? Oh, you bugging out, man? I'm a grown-ass man, man. Yeah, I'm going to get my wine on. Stick your pinky out, man. Sophisticated, aristocrat style. I'm on that white wine. What kind? I'm not going to tell you. They haven't sponsored the show yet. But it's fantastic. Trust me. This is my go-to nightly. Yeah, sometimes, the scotch is my A1. It's my 1A. Sometimes you don't want to go to that. Sometimes you just want to sip and chill. When I'm watching my Knicks, thrill of victory, agony of defeat, I'll go to the scotch to take the edge off. But for a night like tonight, it's the finals. You had a bum night, basically, in NBA Finals terms. Yeah, I'm sipping, I'm chilling, Father's Day, I'll get back to the good stuff, man. I'll get back to the classic. Big ice, scotch, what kind, I can't say because they didn't sponsor the show yet. But we're working on it. We're definitely working on it. So there that is, man. So to everybody in the chat once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. I see a lot of my KFTV originals in here. If you're new in the chat, leave me a hashtag. New, we'll shout you guys out. What do you guys think, man? What is it going to take for Luka and the gang to bring this thing back to Dallas? That's what I think, man. He's going to have to do it. He's going to have to do it. And then watch how the narrative changes once he does. If he goes into Boston on Monday and gives him something to think about, then the narrative becomes, oh my God, where is Dallas going to win this thing? Is they going to come back? Is there pressure on Boston? Luka Doncic, is he the greatest of all time now? Put it back in the microwave. Put it back in the microwave, man. Will Latimer, I see you. Yeah, Kyrie's going to have to show up. And I think you need a Luka masterclass because Boston is going to be on their game. But you got to keep it close. Because I still believe in crunch time, I got to go with Luka Magic, but he's got to be out there on the court. And they've also got to make their free throws. That's the thing where it's just like, it's a little dicey. You got to make your free throws, man. Can't be a bad free throw shooting team and expect to win close games. They shot 68% from the stripe today. You know what I mean? Coach Rubens, facts. Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. So, there it is. You said they still owe Kyrie an apology. Don't think you're going to get that. I don't think you're going to get that Kyrie apology, man. But anyway, that's the story for tonight, folks. NBA Finals Game 4 in the books. And it goes to the Mavs, man. Mavs make it respectable. 122-84. You can catch us back here on Monday after Game 5. Hey, let's see what happens. I believe Mavs Nation is hopeful. Celtics are just like, we're going to get number 18 at home anyway. And let's see, man. But we will be here for it. Highlights, analysis, caller reactions. Call us up 657-383-1509. Or you can hit us up on the NBA Report Discord. Make sure, my KFTV gang, make sure you add in the NBA Report Discord to your Discord so we can get that chat going and build some momentum, man. Like, share, subscribe. Remember that this show is available in audio podcast format, man. No reason to miss it. We are available on all podcast platforms. And if you did miss it, salute to the replay gang, man. Definitely appreciate everybody's support. This thing has been growing. If you guys have been looking, NBA Report has been growing. Subscribers been growing. The shorts have been growing. Hey, we're going to keep it moving, man. Lots in store even after the NBA Finals. So just make sure that you lock in, man. Like, share, subscribe. Support the wave, man. For the fans, by the fans. Before you know it, the NBA Report is going to be something that they're going to be talking about. Trust and believe. But either way, man, enjoy the weekend. All my dads out there, enjoy the Father's Day weekend. It is your time. Make sure they put some respect on your name and let them know that you are appreciated, man. So happy Father's Day to my dads out there. Happy Father's Day, my guy Gamba, man. My guy, the Stratocaster. My guy JD Sports Talk. All my KFTV fams, CK2K. All my guys, man. All my dads out there. Salute to you guys. Will Latimer. We out of here. Peace.